I did not care about the bulbasaur.
Don't be sad, Peter. That's why they call it Popple.
Papa.
Popple. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the BOTA Show. SHOW, James, for posterity.
Ow.
It is the BOTA Show. Guys, we have a great slate of segments here for you today.
God, we have an average and best slate for you here today.
All right, so I have here with me myself, Drew motherfucking Daniels, and James. So let's move on and the number one in your hearts, James Popolo. James, what's up? You gonna say hi?
What up, motherfucker?
There we go. There he is. All right, guys. So first and foremost, what?
Oh no.
What are you doing? Is that backwards? I can't read that.
No, it says, oh yeah, it's coming backwards. Yeah, Jake got it.
Drew loves me.
I love you, buddy.
Okay. All right. Anyways, so yeah, listen, it is what it is. The video quality is gonna be fine. Hey, first of all, before we do anything, shout out to Phil for being in the YouTube live. Phil.
Hey, Phil, let's go.
Phil? Miss you, Phil. We need to get Phil on one of these. I'm sure Phil would love to do it and talk drunk and disorderly with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
anyone but Zach.
Yeah, anyone but me. I can't be on it because I don't know.
Fuck you. That's why.
Right. All right, guys.
Executive decision.
Let's open today's BOTA Show with a personal favorite segment here, and that's gonna be the BOTA. All right, Drew, ready? We got to get ready. We're gonna spin. I need to spin.
I don't have a spinning chair.
All right,
I have to leave this in, right?
What?
I feel like for the audio, I just have to leave in whatever bullshit you're doing right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm gonna have it underlying the actual clip. But anyways, welcome to the BOTA News. I am your co-anchor, Mr. Soggy Boy. I have with me Mr. Drew Daniels.
Can you introduce us?
It's a segment, James. Let me do the segment.
How many fucking people do you think we have on BOTA?
I don't know. It depends on how many personalities you think I have, James.
69.
All right. Well, let's start off with diving into some NFL news today. And we will start off with Philip Rivers has, in fact, retired. He has played, 17 years, I believe. And that is the same amount of kids that he does have.
One child for every year.
One child for every year.
That was such a good joke.
Right.
Thanks for chiming in. Drew fucking disappeared. James, now.
I hate to tell you, I have no way of looking at the notes and doing this at the same time.
Laptop.
I'm just letting you know.
Where's the laptop I gave you?
It still doesn't turn on, Zach.
God. Do you keep it charged in at all times?
It has been plugged in since you gave it to me and still will not turn on.
All right. Well, that's great. All right. Well, let's just keep rattling off some news. Dan Campbell, the new Lions head coach, signed a 6-year contract. Talk about terrible. With the amount of head coaching problems that they've had, and you sign this man to a 6-year deal.
That's a heavy commit right there.
Yeah, that's a heavy commitment.
It's like signing a coach to a 10-year deal when he's only had one Super Bowl.
That's true. AJ Brown had to have double knee surgery. Doctors are calling it cleanup surgery. Don't really know what that means. But it's kind of crazy he didn't get his ankles repaired for, fucking care. Nope, that's the wrong joke, isn't it?
I don't know where that joke is going.
Hey, I was trying to go right off of what you were saying. So, I mean, I don't know.
It's kind of ironic that he's the one that's getting surgery on his legs with all the ankles that he broke this year.
Yeah, I should let him do the jokes. I'm just going to let him do the jokes from now on.
Fucking rope around here somewhere.
Yes, there is. It's around my neck. NFL Championship weekend starts Sunday with the Bucs at Packers at 3:05, and then the Bills and Chiefs play at night. It's going to be two great games, and I cannot wait to see the last BOTA team get eliminated from the playoffs.
Hey, whoa, huh, no.
And unfortunately, speaking of BOTA teams, former Packers GM Ted Thompson unfortunately passed away last night at the age of 68.
Legend.
68. Legendary GM for the organization. I'm sure Drew respects and appreciates everything he has done.
Yeah, that one hurts. Big loss for the organization as a whole, and thoughts and prayers to the Thompson family, and definitely a loss for the world of football and in the world in general. So
yeah,
big
agree. All right, and the Cavs are contemplating releasing Kevin Porter Jr. They have been trying to shop around, it looks like. They only drafted him 2 years ago, and it seems like no one wants a bite, so they might just toss him.
And speaking of the Cavs, they gave the Nets, the new look Nets, with Kyrie back in the lineup, James Harden, Kevin Durant, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Took him to double OT and beat him by quite a bit.
Yeah.
Colin Sexton, that last second shot over Kyrie, money. Kid's a superstar.
Yeah. No lies there. Speaking of Kyrie Irving, he was set to return yesterday and did, along with Joel Embiid, who spanked the Celtics last night as well. I think Embiid dropped 42 on the Celtics. Not great. Not great. And again, in terms of Philadelphia, both the 76ers and the Lakers are on top of their conference towards the end of January. Do we see a change? Do we see nothing happen? I think
I gotta go with the favorites here. I think Brooklyn really is going to be the one that's going to take the conference in the end. I think once that team gels together, they're going to be tough to stop. So
yeah, they are. Very true. All right, well, let's move to the NHL with some news. The Dallas Stars have yet to play a game. They have not played a single game due to COVID.
I want to point out you're ignoring Phil in the comments. It's fucked up.
Oh, I haven't had the comments.
Phil, I got you, dude. Don't let them fucking hate.
I don't have any capabilities to do anything. I have a phone with
You're
Zoom
only
on
limited by
Yeah,
what
he's not. All right. All right. No order, of course. Keep Kevin Porter. Sexton's different. Yeah, I know, Phil. I know this is where you nap. I'm sorry. Well, the Stars have not played a single game yet because of COVID. And the rest of the division's not too hot either because the most games a team has played is 2. And every other division has at least 3 to 4 games played. So not great. Central Division not looking too hot right now. Must be COVID alley. I don't know what it is. Because Carolina and Nashville had to postpone their game yesterday. Like I said, the Stars haven't played a game yet. Not good.
Well, I think a lot of that kind of plays into how we were talking about the realignment of the divisions and everything. And if one team in a division has COVID, it kind of fucks up a lot of stuff for the whole rest of the division.
Right. Yep.
So
okay.
It is what it is. They'll catch up.
Yeah, and a key piece of the Bruins 2011 Stanley Cup run, Adam McQuaid has officially retired due to, I don't know, he just did.
Later, Quater.
Yeah. Much love for the Quater. Much love. All right, let's move on. Let's go to MLB. Got some big news out of the MLB, obviously, with George Springer signing a 6-year deal with the Jays. That's huge for the Blue Jays. I know Drew and James and Chris would have more to offer on that, but unfortunately, Hall of Famer Don Sutton has also passed away at the age of 75. Legend in the Dodgers organization. So our thoughts go out to that family as well. And the Red Sox have still done absolutely jack shit in the offseason. Yeah, not great. I know Drew and I talked about this. Not good. But let's send it down to our ground reporter, James Popolo. James, what else do you have on this story?
Red Sox aren't doing dick. It's fucking annoying. You're seeing all these names go around and fucking get signed in other places. And not nap time. God damn it. How am I supposed to focus when I'm also looking at Phil's comments? You're seeing all these names and all these needs, and all we've done are get depth guys. Like Hunter Renfroe. Are you kidding me? That's what we get as an outfield depth guy? Sure, he's fine, but that's not what we need. We fucking need bullpen. We need starters because Chris Sale isn't worth dick.
And James, down on the ground there, I do have a question for you. How are we feeling about the Trevor Bauer situation? Big name still out there at the biggest need on the team.
Right.
Floating around since the beginning.
Hold on, you're coming in a little broken up.
Sorry about that. Did you hear enough of the question to respond?
Yes, Drew, I heard enough of the question. I can't do the news delay. The thing about Trevor Bauer that I keep seeing, though, is that the Red Sox are now out on him because of the price tag he is allegedly, him and his agent have set on himself, which still hasn't been revealed to anyone. But honestly, pay for him. His ERA was phenomenal last year. I think he had a 1-something, maybe even less. Like, standing with that ERA and the ability he clearly has, sign him, get him on the team, ignore what he does off the field, which isn't even that fucking bad, and get a real starter.
Can I ask you about his injury history? If you have any info on that, James and or Drew, my co-host, of course. But I would just like to say you paid a hefty price for Chris Sale and you got one good year out of him. Granted, it was World Series, but he's been hurt every other single fucking year.
I'd say more than one good year out of Chris Sale. I mean, obviously you're pointing at the World Series year. But, I mean, the Chris Sale we're getting now is non-existent, one, because he just doesn't play. I don't know if he even pitched last year, and he's not expected to pitch until a quarter into this year, if I'm not wrong, Drew.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Fucking ridiculous. So, I mean, Trevor Bauer, obviously, at age 29 season, you're getting I forget what injury he had, too. But at this point, Boston has the medical staff to deal with anything. Or I guess just have a superstar that'll just continually fucking heal from an injury, Dustin Pedroia. So I'm not super concerned about it. It hasn't been a problem as far as I've seen the past few seasons. So I would love Trevor Bauer to come to the Red Sox. It's not going to happen. I'm fucking out on it.
All right, James, before we kick it back up to the studio, do you have any final words on the ground?
Gabagoo.
All right. That was James, the field reporter. And obviously for Drew and myself, that was the BOTA News. And then we pause.
Hold on. I think you should introduce yourselves again just so everybody really knows who's here.
Fuck you. Not happening. All right. All right, we're good. So, my BOTA peeps, would any of you care to say that you are a master? Drew, are you a master?
Only of debation.
Oh, James, are you a master of debation as well?
Average at best, Zach.
All right.
Am I still doing the field reporter thing, Zach?
Seeing as though this is not the BOTA News, no. But you're going to do it anyways, and that's okay because that's why we love you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Master Debate.
Yeah, you got it, Zach. I'll be reporting on the field.
The question, the debate we are
Sorry, I think I cut you off there.
Good luck editing that out of the fucking podcast because it's gonna be video gold.
I'm saving it. I'm not editing dick. Oh, wait, sorry. I'm saving it.
And the illusion has been blown.
Damn it. All right, what are we fucking debating, boys?
We are in the National Football League's championship weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And I pose to you, which conference is the stronger conference right now? Is it the AFC or the NFC? And I open the floor for anyone that would like to comment. Go ahead. Debate away, my little master debaters. That's creepy, sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't like the little part of that, Zach.
Didn't like that. Didn't like it either. It's fine. We move on.
Makes me sound like a child, Zach. Didn't feel good.
Nope. Sorry. Nope.
Ooh, we got some AFC bias already. I'm going to lead off then, and I'm going to go AFC. All right. I think pound for pound, you're talking about better teams in the AFC. Are we talking about just in the playoffs or as a whole?
As a whole.
As a whole. As a whole.
Like Asa Akira's whole. I'm fucking on it today. I would take, if you had to line up the top 5 teams in the AFC, you're talking about, God damn it. I have to turn off the YouTube comments. I have to stop looking. You're talking about the Chiefs, the Bills, the Browns, the Titans, the Ravens. I like how I just put myself in that conversation with the Browns. I would take that over any NFC 5v5. Drew, take it away.
That is interesting that you would take that.
We got some spice going on here, boys.
Team, that lineup of teams over the top 5 in the NFC. That is interesting to me. I think that the NFC as a whole, as a division, is a little more complete top to bottom. And I also think that they have some more complete teams in the NFC. I think that there's a very large group of teams that can compete in the NFC versus the AFC. I think there's a lot of teams you can write off immediately in the AFC, more than so in the opposite conference. But overall, I would say that the NFC is a little bit stronger.
All right, well, let me phrase it to you this way, Drew. Let's stack it up basic.
Wrong.
Jesus. Let's stack it up, and if we're taking our top 5 or whatever, if you had to go quarterback versus quarterback, who's the best quarterback in the NFC versus who's the best quarterback in the AFC? So I feel like visually this would be the best, right? You'd be talking probably Aaron versus Mahomes.
Yeah, I guess that would be accurate.
And I hate that I would have to give that to you, but maybe by a hair, I'll give you Aaron.
Yeah, I think that
We're talking about recency too. We're not talking about all-time achievements.
Right, and just he's been able to do more with less. He has Devontae Adams, but he's made some other weapons around him a lot better. Patrick Mahomes, on the other hand, had some serious talent coming into that team, and he's done well with it. He has, of course. He won a Super Bowl last year, but
all right. And then if you're going to go running back,
the best running back in the AFC versus the best running back in the NFC.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara versus
Derrick Henry. I think that's close. They're incredibly different running backs.
That's what I'm saying. So then say you go to a tiebreaker and you go RB2. I'm gonna boldly say Nick Chubb versus.
I would agree with you.
I wanna give you the benefit that Christian McCaffrey and Saquon both exist in the NFC. But if we're talking about just this year,
you'd have to drop. Would you say Aaron Jones?
Maybe. I think in that. It's a good question, actually. Somebody just posted a question in the YouTube comments before we even get into this, which actually ties in. Is the Zeke fall off a very, very bad sign going forward? No.
A bad sign for Zeke or for the team?
I'd say let's talk about it in a perspective of Zeke, and let's talk about it in a perspective of the Cowboys. I think if you're Zeke, it's awful because it kind of puts a stigma that you cannot perform without that legendary Dallas line in front of you.
Yeah, and no Dak, no line. He wasn't able to carry the load by himself. Now that in itself is not a damning thing. It's not shouldn't be expected of a running back to be able to carry an entire offensive line and quarterback. So I don't think it's a huge deal for Zeke. I don't think it's a huge deal for the team either. I think that Dak is a bigger part of that team. When he comes back, things are gonna be a lot different. I don't think that they would have an issue getting some good return for Zeke. So I see this as a window of opportunity for the Cowboys to part ways with Zeke. Let him find his footing somewhere else.
Drew, I can wholeheartedly agree with you, but I want to hear what Zach has to say because this is your guys' show.
I don't really know what to say about the situation. I mean, I think it's proven that, you know, if he doesn't have Dak, he doesn't do much because you really only have to stop one thing, and that's Zeke. So I don't really think it's a warning sign. It's more or less just a caution because if Zeke is playing bad, or if Dak is playing bad, then most likely Zeke is going to be playing bad. So I think it goes hand in hand. It's like a Brady Belichick situation.
Well, don't overlook the fact that Tony Pollard was able to find success in Zeke's absence with Andy Dalton.
Right, that's true. That's true.
So even without Dak, even without the offense operating at full capacity, there have been running back successes.
That's true. That's true. But you also have to think that are Zeke and Tony Pollard the same kind of back?
No, but that's kind of exactly what I'm saying is Zeke might not be the scheme fit anymore. Maybe you need a faster, more agile back like Tony Pollard. Not to take anything away from Zeke. He's a fantastic running back, but more of a power guy, more of a hard nose down, run the football kind of guy. Whereas Tony Pollard slips through those holes that were being created by an almost non-existent Cowboys offensive line that week and picks up some chunk yardage, makes some amazing plays. So I do think that maybe Zeke's gotten a little stale in the offense and it's time to make a shift towards a more Tony Pollard-like back.
I think I've already said this, but having the running back committee, if you have that with Pollard and someone else in this draft, that's your best option. Or even someone in free agency, but I think overpaying for Zeke isn't the right move.
100%. And like I said, now's the window to get your return on him.
Exactly. You still have value on him, and potentially first plus a second. But let's get back to this NFC AFC debate, Drew, because I want to dig into this.
Let me offer my take on this, and that's, I mean, you know, it's tough to kind of, you know, say which is the better conference because you can come at it from a number of angles. And
sorry, Zach, it's not like we were already working an angle or anything.
Yeah, thanks for joining, Zach.
You guys are working the player angle. My angle would be, okay, well, which conference has won more Super Bowls in the past, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years?
No, you can't do that because that's one team winning the majority of the conference's Super Bowls. You can't say that conference is better because one team went to the Super Bowl all the time and won.
You can because that team beat the other team in the other conference and won the entire thing. So that is exactly...
No, but that's one team. That's not the whole conference being better.
Okay.
That's one team being so good that they're just better than every team in the league.
Oh, God. I don't want Dak Prescott. I'm all set. Sorry, I just looked over the comments. Okay, I understand that. But technically, that's an angle. I can still come in at that. I'm just saying.
That's a weak, ugly angle.
I don't care. I mean, you know, you have to look at teams that are always gonna be shitty. So the AFC is always going to have the Bengals that are going to be shitty for the next 5 years, or the Jaguars, who are, sorry, Trevor Lawrence, you're going to be shitty for the next 5 years unless you get a miracle.
Or the Jets.
The Jets, still going to be shitty. Sorry. But, I mean, on the flip side, if you look over at the NFC, I mean, there's not right now for this season, there weren't any teams that you could look at and say, I know they're going to be one and whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if we're going based off of how the teams did this year and what we kind of expect from them, you know, what we saw from them last year and what we expect from them this year, then I would argue that the NFC is the better conference.
Yeah, that's cool, except for the entire NFC East.
Yeah, I understand that. That's fine. But you had teams in the AFC that went 0-1 and 15 and 2.
Yeah, don't forget the worst 2 teams in the league come from the AFC.
Oh, thank you.
Correct.
Actually, the worst 3 probably.
Look,
Maybe.
man, I got no hate for the Eagles and all that.
Yes, the worst 3 because the Dolphins have the number 3 overall.
Well, but what about the Bengals? Aren't the Bengals bad?
The Bengals were the most optimistic losing team, and I'll die on that sword. But they were
100%. With when they get Joe Burrow back and can add a few more pieces, and that team has a bright future, for sure.
Yeah, no, agreed. But I think looking at records overall from, you know, looking at last year, how they played this year and what we kind of expect from them next year, yeah, I would take the NFC. But I mean, again, that's just one angle. If you look at overall players and you go off of how talented each one is, it's a lot closer. I mean,
All right, let's go back to that then. So we're looking at
RB1, RB2. What do we have, Drew? It was Henry and Chubb.
RB1 is Kamara and Henry. RB2, I think you're right, Chubb in the AFC. And then the NFC is a little bit harder.
So are we speaking specifically for this year or in general?
Yeah, we're going off this year.
Obviously, for specifically this year, you can't really count Christian McCaffrey in.
That's what I said. Christian McCaffrey and Saquon both exist, but
right.
What's the point of adding him in?
If we're looking at it like that, then I would go Dalvin.
Yeah.
I would go Dalvin my number 2. And if we're going, you know, if we're going Dalvin and Kamara versus Henry and Chubb, I mean, the production is there for the NFC backs, man. I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
see, this is my ploy to get James to go off about Derrick Henry's 2,000-yard, 378 carry season and defend it, even though he said it was never going to happen. So, James, enjoy defending that.
All right. Well, here's what. Since you already said that, let's talk about Nick Chubb stats, who missed 4 games. Am I right? 4 games. Yep. All right. So that's full. Let's go.
So easy.
2020, right? He missed 4 games. He still had 1,000 yards, averaged 5.6 a carry, and had 12 touchdowns.
Okay, cool. You want to look at the NFC stats for me?
I would love to. I mean, you have to do it. You're the host, Zach.
No, I don't have to do it.
You do have to do it.
All right, fine, I'll do it.
All right. Well, if you're gonna do one, I'll get the other. How about that?
All right, fine, I'll take Kamara.
All right. I forget who I'm taking.
Dalvin Cook, baby.
Dalvin Cook. $1,500, 5 yards, 16 touchdowns.
For Dalvin?
For Dalvin.
Yeah.
Who had missed 1 game.
Okay. 2020. Alvin Kamara played 15 games. He ran for 932 yards.
But he had the receiving yards for
16 touchdowns.
Yep.
Yeah, so he also had 83 receptions for 756 yards and another 5 touchdowns.
Right. I'm not saying that. I think Alvin Kamara will be RB1 in the NFC. That's not the argument.
No, I know. But put those together and still better. Still better than the AFC.
I'd have to say overall plus the versatility of those running backs. I mean,
Right.
Alvin Kamara alone just gives you so many options and gives you opportunities to earn yards and touchdowns in multiple ways. Derrick Henry's pretty much a one-trick pony. Nick Chubb
Proved he's a one-trick pony.
is absolutely a one-trick pony. So I got to give that to the NFC as well. And then receivers, I give to the NFC without even a thought.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually
You got Nuke and Devontae Adams. Kind of game
Julio
over.
too. I mean, Julio's still there.
Julio is still there. Yeah.
Yeah, but if once again we're talking about this season, Julio's
Mike
relevant.
Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown all on one NFC team. But
Receivers, NFC.
Yeah.
Ironman's not looking great right now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Tight ends. AFC.
So really, if we're talking about tight ends, you're talking about Kelsey versus Kittle.
Well, no, because Kittle didn't play this year.
Oh, because Kittle didn't do a lot this year, so it'd be
Kittle
Kelsey.
didn't do a lot, but who was the number 2 behind Kelsey? Darren Waller, who I thought was not going to have a better season than he did last year.
We both did. That was a bad one.
That's okay. I didn't say he was going to be an absolute bum, and if I did, then someone roast me in the comments. But I just didn't think he was going to have this good of a season. I guess I figured Henry Ruggs would actually be a factor in an NFL game and not be a complete.
He had less than 30 receptions this year.
Yeah, he was terrible this year.
Yeah. Boom player.
Yeah,
Not even going to get into the Henry Ruggs argument again.
No.
But I would give tight end to the AFC.
I think that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this year, who was the number 1 tight end in the NFC? Robert Tonyan? Come on.
Yeah, Robert Tonyan. Gronk was there.
Yeah.
Keywords was there.
Yeah. I know.
I feel like we're missing something in the NFC. It's like yelling at me.
I mean, Logan Thomas had a big season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but towards the end.
Yeah.
Fuck. I know who we're missing, and it's really sad that we forget his name right off the bat.
Oh, you're looking at it?
No. It's TJ.
Oh, Hawk?
Yeah.
Hockey, baby.
It didn't seem like he had a good year, but I think he had
he was solid for sure.
Yeah. I mean, when I just look at the conglomerate of tight ends that have done well for either side this year specifically, I mean, AFC outranks. It's just,
tight ends, I will absolutely give to the AFC.
I'm looking at a legitimate ranking of it. It's actually scary how big the tilt is. Because it goes Kelsey, then I guess Kittle still did pretty decent in his few games he played. Then Darren Waller, Mark Andrews, Dallas Goedert, so back to NFC, Gesicki, Hawk to you, Fant to AFC, Hunter Henry to AFC, CJ Ozma to AFC, Logan Thomas to NFC, and then it goes past there. But
is that yards?
That's total ranking according to it's fantasy football ranking, so take that as well.
Yeah, I don't think that's as telling. I mean, stats wise, Tonyan was right up there into the league lead in touchdowns among tight ends. So I think the AFC tight ends are a bigger part of their team's games. I think Kelsey,
I agree.
Waller, those guys are a huge part of the offense. In the NFC, a lot more of those guys are kind of complementary pieces.
Fair.
Agree.
About to lie.
Agree. Yeah. Can't. Yeah. So give that to the AFC, but so far it's been NFC. James.
That's fine. Still in the ball game, folks.
Not looking great.
Lot of game to go.
All right, are we going to offensive lines now?
AFC.
That's
no cap.
I think offensive line specifically, we should look at total production, just not each position, because that's just gonna fucking take too long.
Yeah.
Both conferences have good offensive lines. The Packers, maybe.
Well, why don't we just try to build the best offensive line we can think of off the top of our heads from each conference? 2 tackles, 2 guards, and a center.
All right. Well, is this including players that are injured or no?
No.
Why
would it?
Okay. So I'm just asking. So, I don't know. I really don't know. Offensive line is not my specialty. So
No. Just off the top of my head, thinking offensive line here, I'm thinking like I'm thinking of, oh my God, I can't think of his name on the Colts right now. I'm just fucking blanking.
Oh, Quentin Nelson?
Quentin Nelson.
Yes, absolutely.
Jack Conklin.
Yes.
Fuck, dude. We're really bad with offensive line.
Yeah.
I want to keep Ronnie Stanley, who ended up being injured, so take that.
But he played a good portion of the season.
Schwartz, Taylor Lewan, who was also injured.
David Andrews, perennial Pro Bowl player.
David Andrews. Trent Brown, I guess. If you want to take that. I'll take that as my 6.
All right. Well, NFC, I mean, we can go what?
Bakhtiari.
JC Treader.
He's in the AFC.
He's in the AFC now?
Oh, yeah, baby.
It's okay. There's Corey Linsley.
Yeah. Well, JC Treader has been a huge factor for the Browns as well, so we'll put him on there too.
Browns off. You could honestly build the AFC off of just the Browns and Colts mixed line.
Yeah.
That's true. Filthy.
I mean, Alex Mack has been solid in Atlanta forever.
That one hurts.
Tristan Wirfs has been great down in Tampa this year. Serious tackle and young.
Counter that with Willis.
Jedrick Wills?
Yeah.
Fair.
Or Becton.
Andrew Thomas with the Giants.
So do we have a consensus here? Is there like a...
I think offensive line's kind of evenly matched, to be honest with you.
Don't even. Get out of my house. Don't you fucking even try that. Are you kidding me?
Dude, look at some of the offensive lines in the NFC.
It's even.
Yeah.
You can build the best line in the AFC with 2 teams.
You could do that with 2 NFC teams too.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, there are 3 players on the Packers that I would confidently put in that discussion.
All right, here's the tiebreaker I'm looking up right now. Offensive line rankings for the NFL. If I can get in the top 5 more in the AFC than the NFC, a winner gets it, right? Whoever gets more in the top 5. Sound good? Let's see. Final offensive line rankings, PFF. Perfect. Number 1, dog check, baby. PFF. Number 2, Packers. Fuck. Number 3, Rams. By a dick hair. 4 is the Patriots for some ungodly reason on ranking, and then number 5 is the
because
Bucs.
the 4 for the Patriots because of the rushing attack, and the rookie Onenwu had like a 99 point something PFF rating.
All right, well, I'm a man of my word in the NFC 1. That sucks.
Yeah, so basically the offense is all NFC except for tight ends, James.
Woo!
So, let's go to defense though. I'm confident for you, James, the AFC. There's definitely some pieces around. Really? Are you sure? Because the AFC confidently has my vote of cornerback by far.
Oh, I think you're gonna get Drew on that one. I think you're gonna get Drew some spice. Let's fire through this a little bit quicker because I feel like this is dragging on a little bit.
All right. Well, let's start from the outside in. Corners, I'm giving to the AFC. Tre'Davious White, Xavier Howard, J.C. Jackson, Stephon Gilmore is still in the conference. End of game. End of story. Sorry.
Yeah, but we're talking about production this year, and Stephon Gilmore hasn't been great.
The games that he did play, he was perfectly fine. Because defense is different. Defense is different. Because overall production doesn't matter. If the games you were in, you were fine, you played well. Obviously, it's Stephon Gilmore. So,
okay. Drew, counter.
Well, so I mean, NFC wise, Jair Alexander is the best cornerback probably in the league right now.
Defend Jalen Ramsey.
I mean, he's still been one of the best corners all year. That's not up for debate. He's one of the best corners in the league.
Yeah, I have no argument. Yeah, Jair is up there.
No, I'm talking about Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, yes, Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So 4v4, it would be Jair, Jalen.
Yeah. Darius Slay's still there. He had a decent year.
No, don't do that. Darius Slay was the best part of that Philly secondary. He carried a lot of their games.
He did, but he also had some rough games.
No, I'm not. No, Drew, I'm defending you this time.
No, it's not. Oh well, that's terrible. But if Darius Slay is your 3, I don't really think your argument's going to hold up. That's all.
Dude, J.C. Jackson was your 3, and
J.C. Jackson had 10 interceptions this year and had a PFF rating of over 90. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but that's one. I guess we're talking about this year, but
yeah,
fine.
That's what I'm saying. Like, look at the cornerbacks from this year from each conference. The AFC cornerbacks did better. That's just my argument. I'm playing both sides of the ball here. I picked the NFC with you, so I mean, I'm not really, I'm not really trying to gain weight here because basically the entire offense is NFC except for tight ends. But anyways.
Anywho. Drew, you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here. Hold on.
Sorry. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess Drew's gonna look it up. So
yeah, I'm looking at the PFF rankings.
Tentatively, I guess we will go JC Jackson. Yeah, he's gonna look up JC Jackson, but I guess we'll go AFC for right now, and then once Drew either proves me wrong or doesn't know. So, what do you want to go next? Safeties then?
Yeah, I think safety I'd have to tilt to NFC, honestly. It's real tough.
Yeah, AFC, you have Darwin, but he was out this year. Right?
Actually, the highest rated
Justin Simmons
is Jesse Bates on Cincinnati, who had a sneaky good year. I forgot about that.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna give it to NFC. I think at this point, if we're looking at this, the NFC has won this.
Yeah. So I mean,
but the NFC has won this.
Yeah. So I think the NFC can soundly take this based off of the players in each conference and how they performed this year. So yeah. But again, you can come at it in a bunch of different ways and end up with a different result every time. So great question. Thanks for coming up with it, Drew, earlier. That was awesome.
Yay.
All right. Well, let's move on. Let's move into a newer segment. I introduced maybe like a month ago. Very similar to Rage Cage, but it's more of a sentimental time for those that need it. Welcome to Upset the Spaghetti. Tonight is going to be James. James, why don't you take it away, buddy? Why are you upset?
I'm actually not, Zach. I wanted to lead you in with that. I am optimistic. Spaghetti. I have never been happier about finishing a season with the Browns. And I say that every year that the draft is the Browns Super Bowl. Being able to show up and actually perform in the playoffs this year filled whatever dead parts of my heart with joy. Made me happy again. Made me happy seeing a team that had a great offense and a horrible defense, but a great offense and some bright spots on defense. I am optimistic. My man Baker actually turned into the quarterback I knew he was and is. Nick Chubb's a fucking animal. Kareem Hunt's a great complimentary piece. OBJ will be on the Patriots and ruining their season next year, and that's fine by me. Tight ends, Austin Hooper. Thank God for him at the end of the year. He's been solid. David Njoku's going to be gone, and I'm just happy. That's it. Optimistic spaghetti.
Well, actually, that was our brand new segment. Let's walk through all 5 stages of denial with James.
I'm feeling good.
Optimism's what, number 2, Drew?
Yeah, something like no. Optimism's not on there, but that's okay.
Yeah, well. We'll find them. We'll find them. All right, guys, let's move on to our last segment of the day.
What's going in the Force Flex this week?
We force
power of the Force Flex has returned to the BOTA Show. It's trash bag.
Who we
That's
force
right.
flexing?
Good one for this week. I'm so pumped.
You got a good one? All right. Well, let me just rip off some for you right now. NFL player safety in the force flex,
Right in there.
right in the trash bag. And that's more of a preemptive one for when Patrick Mahomes inevitably plays with a
I've
concussion.
been saying he's on the right path right now.
He got a concussion literally 3 days ago. Why is he even playing? The Saints for failing Drew Brees. Get in the trash bag. Get in there.
In the bag.
How
That
long
man
does he get his retirement announcement?
He's probably taking time to just absorb it all before he makes an announcement, to be completely honest. Like, he took time with Brady after the game and all that kind of stuff. So he's probably just letting it soak in and making sure that's the right decision for him. But I mean, I think it's going to be.
Yeah, dude, that last turn as he was running down the tunnel out of the dome.
No way.
That
No
was
way.
it. That was it.
I've tried watching. All right. Well, Lamar Jackson, you in the trash bag. You played like dog shit against the Bills.
Dude gets a concussion. Bills fans donate to his charity, and you're like, trash bag.
He played like shit before that concussion.
He
man.
did play like shit before that concussion.
Yeah, he played
I
like shit.
hate defending Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. However, side note, the golden trash bag of flex, the Force Flex golden trash bag of the week, goes to Bills fans, and this is the good trash bag. They raised $450,000 for Lamar Jackson's charity.
Good on you, Bills fans.
Yeah. We're Bills fans out there. If you're out there, if you can hear me, the golden table is yours. The golden table. You may jump through it as many times as you want on your way to some deranged version of heaven that is the Bills fans' mind. Rashad Higgins' ball security skills in the trash bag.
Yay.
Right in there.
Yeah, that's got to go right in there. I'm sorry. That has to. No matter if it was a good play or not, still in the trash bag. And last but not least, at least for me, and if anyone wants to chime in, obviously with the trash bag, they can go. Josh McDaniels after the Bruce Arians comments, right in the trash bag.
Bad.
That's not a good look for him. It doesn't matter if we're going off of the season, still not a good look.
No. Josh, just stop. Just stop.
Any more for the trash bag names? Or?
I do, but I want to see if Drew's going to get one first.
I'm good.
All right. My trash bag.
James's trash bag.
Did
Also
anybody
James's Force Flex.
did anybody listen to Dan Campbell's presser?
Yeah, wasn't he gonna pop a knee or something?
I'm gonna play it right now for you.
Why don't we just put it in the actual?
All right, and when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you, and when you knock us down, we're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right, and we're going to stand up, and then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down, all right, and on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, get in the teeth, all right, and
Dan Campbell's going in the fucking trash bag already.
6 years, it's been 6 years.
We've had a historically bad run of first coach pressers, most notably being Adam Gase.
Adam Gase, the cocaine eyes, yeah, crack eyes or whatever.
Dan Campbell saying he's gonna bite some dude's kneecap off when the
Both kneecaps.
Let's not both kneecaps.
Both kneecaps.
There will be no more kneecaps after Dan Campbell is done. No more.
Dan Campbell live in the trash bag.
Unbelievable.
Hide your shins, hide your kneecaps.
God, that felt good.
That is terrible. That's just awful. Why would you bite both a man's kneecaps off? Why?
I don't know, fetish.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen weirder ones at Rex. At Rex. Well, guys, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I'm going to hand it over to Drew to sign us off because that was the agreement that we made. So, Drew, go ahead. Sign us off.
What Zach said. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in. This has been the BOTA Show from Soggy Boy Zach and James down below me there.
Hi,
I'm Drew. You know where to find us. We're on YouTube Live currently. We're on Anchor. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all the podcasts. Come find us. Come listen to us. And Enjoy. Night, y'all.
Night. Stay. Oh, I get to end it. Ooh. Zachy boy.
What?
Hey, Zach. You the bitch. Baby.